Good morning and welcome to Coffee and Cosmos with Robin. My name is Robin Fritz, and today I want to talk a little bit about how to go about clearing your space. So I'm going to follow up from last week's talk about space clearing and give you a technique to clear your space. I apologize, I'm having some um, broadcast difficulties this morning, so I hope this is coming across. Please type in some comments and let me know that this is working for you. So, again, my name is Robin Fritz, and I am a spiritual and intuitive consultant and certified past life regression specialist, and I'm based in Seattle, Washington. I'm also the host of the Om Times radio show, The Practical Intuitive Mind, Body, Spirit for the Real World. And it airs Mondays at 2 Pacific time, 5 Eastern. And thanks for chiming in here because I'm not getting things on the side of the screen that I usually do. But I'm thrilled to be here with you today. And so, hi, everyone. Thanks for chiming in. So, again, this week, I'm going to give you a very simple but very effective space clearing technique so you can keep your homes and your business spaces clear. Thanks, Nancy. I'm just not seeing it on my end. So I'll have to figure that out, but I'm glad it's working. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to talk about a crystal of the week. But first, I want to do a meditation with the crystal Fallon. We do this every week to help you get grounded and balanced in this space here with us and in this wonderful community that Om Times has created for us. So there you go. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world. Fallon is citrine Lemurian quartz, and clearly I always work with Fallon in a space clearing, whether I do them for myself or for a client. You can use any crystal that you have, but for today, right now, focus on Fallon and think about clearing your space and connect with Fallon the way your intuition works most strongly. So seeing pictures, hearing him chat, feeling his energy, or simply knowing you're connected. So as you look at him, take your attention to the top of your head, and we're just going to breathe down our body from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet. So breathe down. And as you do that, just release the cares of the day and just be here in this space with us. So breathing down from the top of your head, down your face, your shoulders, your chest, your hips, your knees, and your feet. The top of your head to the bottom of your feet. And just feel yourself settling into the chair. And now as you breathe up from your feet to the top of your head, you can welcome this healing energy into your body if you'd like. Moving up from your feet, past your knees, your hips, your chest, your shoulders, your face, and the top of your head. So every week I love working with Fallon here, and I know wherever you are in the world, you can feel his energy. So again, welcome. I'm in Seattle, Washington. We are having a perfect weather week here, and we're just delighted to be able to share this time with you. So space clearing. Last week, I talked about how we can really help ourselves be our best by clearing the spaces that we live and work in. But I like to take that to another degree and ask the spaces to cooperate with me, whether it's my own space or the space of a client. Good morning, everyone, again, and thank you for chiming in here. So my space clearing technique I call space cooperating. You can go to the experts platform at Learn It Live and check in there to several webinars I've done on this whole technique. But the simple way of looking at it is to understand that everything in the world around us is alive, including our homes and our business spaces, and we can help them be their best to support us and to achieve their own soul purpose by helping keep the energies clear in that space so that the energy flows freely and doesn't get stuck and clogged up. And as I said last week, what happens is we go about our day as we bring little bits and pieces of stuck energy from other people to our own spaces, as well as our own things that we're dealing with. And so you would clear a space for any sort of reason, to celebrate a graduation, a birthday, a wedding, an anniversary. I'm, in my case, on the weekend, celebrating 3 years with my dog Ollie, having come home with me 3 years ago, October. Today's my mom's birthday, even though she's deceased. So that's another reason to think of celebrating with a space clearing. And if you have an intention, this is awesome. So here's the first thing you do. You set an intention for your clearing. You want to clear it like once a month when you pay your bills, or you have a special occasion, or someone is ill, someone has passed away. There are any one of numbers of reasons that you can choose. So pick one, and then ask your space what it needs and wants from you. So you may get all kinds of answers. I mean, I've had spaces tell me they want to be the canvas for their owner's art. They have had previous people living there and they need those energies to move out. So use your intuition to understand what your space would like from you. And then that next step is to negotiate change. And so the space is ready to be cleared, and it will help you clear it itself. And you can help it and clear yourself at the same time. So I suggest you can use any one of a number of things. You can have pictures of the people you're celebrating. You can put out candles, flowers, crystals, anything that makes you feel like you're celebrating this space clearing. Hi, Ivan. And then the next thing to do is to add something as a gift to the space. So I tell people, even when I'm doing a professional clearing, it doesn't have to be something that you spend a lot of money on. Concentrate on the space. Think about what it would like, and something will pop into your head. It could be a colored ribbon. It could be a picture of something. And so you end up creating a little altar for your space clearing. Objects that are there representing people, and the crystals and the flowers, and then the items that you use to help you with a space clearing. So that could be incenses of different kinds. I like copal, which is also called Mexican frankincense because it grows on a tree in Mexico. Frankincense is good, but a lot more expensive. A lot of people like sage. I really don't, but again, if it works for you, Palo Santo is a wonderful wood, very fragrant wood from Peru, considered a sacred wood, and I love the fragrance of that. You can buy all kinds of clearing sprays, clearing incenses, combinations of incenses. So go with what feels good to you. Rose is a very high vibration essential oil, very expensive, but you can find rose sprays. And if you're sensitive to scents, you can just use an unscented spray. You really don't even need to use any kind of incense or spray. But what's good about it is that it helps you create that feeling of ceremony, and it helps the space wake up and go, oh, something's happening here. Now we're going to do this clearing. So it's a great tool, and it'll also help you ritualize the process. So as you start with the intention for you have all of your things gathered together, light your candles or whatever. Start with your intention for the clearing. For example, I would like to celebrate my mother's birthday and my dog arriving here 3 years ago. And that would be my intention for clearing this weekend. And then I would choose, an incense if I'd like it. And as I said, I like Palo Santo. There are some others. You can light that, and you can walk around your entire area. You can, some people like to use feathers. I just use my hand to wave the smoke in the corners, clear the furniture as you're doing that. You can dance, you can play music. I love Mickey Hart's Planet Drum CD. It's lots of vibrant music and has a real good beat to it. And I like to crank the music up, open up all the windows, and just let that music drift out in the neighborhood. Haven't had any complaints yet. but I don't make it last that long, so nobody can complain for too long. So, how you go about the clearing depends upon your mood. If you're celebrating, dancing is awesome. If you're a little shy, even by yourself, you can just walk around the space. Invite the animals and the other people who are living with you to join in if they will. And as you walk around the space, just bless the space. Bless your space for supporting you. Bless yourself for supporting the space. And then as you complete that circuit, then you can go back around the space. I have a little Tibetan bowl. I forgot to bring it in here to show you, just a little metal Tibetan singing bowl. But what I really like about it is I can put it in the palm of my hand and hit the bowl, and the ring will either sound really clear or it will wobble a little bit. And if it wobbles, that means I need to ring it again until it sounds clear. And it's a wonderful way of really making the space clearing concrete for you. And also for me, for clients, I will have one or the other of the people that I clear the space for go ahead and ring the little bell in different places. And they actually can feel then the energy shifting. So at the end of that, you can thank everyone for joining in. You can thank your spiritual team for joining you. You can thank the occasion that you're celebrating or commemorating. You can say a prayer for good health if it's a health issue that you're dealing with. So in essence, what you're doing with the space clearing is creating a ritual. You can create your own prayers if you want. You can create your own way of communicating with your space. And I like to sit, especially in my own space, in the middle of the clearing. I'd like to sit and just reflect on why I'm doing this, the people and the animals that are in my life, what I know about my space, all of the things that need to be cleared, and allow my energy to clear itself at the same time. So that's the process. As I said, I'm having some technical issues, so I can't actually see any questions from you. So you're going to have to type them up here if you have any questions for me on the space clearing. I'd love to see them because all I know is that the broadcast is on. So we will go now quickly to a crystal of the week, which I always like to include in these broadcasts. And really, for a space clearing, I urge you to tap into any crystal. You're welcome, Carolyn. Tap into any crystal that works for you, you know. And one of the things that I really love about each space clearing that I conduct is sitting down and asking all of the crystals that I have in my home, and obviously Fallon is always included, asking which crystals want to be present for the clearing. And by noticing which crystals show up, I get another feel for how the house is feeling. So I have crystals that I use for creativity, for my writing projects. And if my eye is drawn to them, I'm going to focus a little bit more on my personal creativity. If I'm focused on grounding crystals, I look at really making sure everyone living in the house, and that's me and my dog and my cat, are all solid and well balanced. So a lot of people like black tourmaline. I am not that attracted to it, but that just goes to show that what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another. So that's why you need to experiment. And you don't have to buy crystals to experiment with them. You can look online. There are lots of really great books out there. Judy Hall's books on crystals have beautiful pictures, lots of information. And you'll rapidly discover that there are all kinds of crystals that can be used for grounding and balancing, for creativity, for different health issues. And that'll give you a clue on what you might want to buy for your personal collection. So that's really what I wanted to, Ahmad. Yes, always prayer for all Syrians. Pray for anyone who is having a difficult time, whether it's government issues or weather-related issues, or just having a hard time getting along in life and feeling a little down. That's here what this community is for, supporting each other. So in essence, really, every broadcast that I do every week is kind of a mini space clearing, helping us clear the space to be together, and then helping you take that energy and use it in your own space wherever you are in the world. Now, I know one question that has come up in the past is, how can I clear my workspace if I don't own it? That is, if you work for somebody else, if you have a cubicle in an office, if you're a salesperson and driving a car or a truck or a grocery store checker or whatever that you do, wherever your business is centered, even if it's on a desk or in a truck, wherever that is your space that you work in. So yes, go ahead and clear it. Alexandrina, I'm sorry, I can only see part of the question. It's technical issues here. I'm going to have to check with my service provider. But you said you started out with smudging. I can only speculate on what that question was. I don't like sage. I like it in my food, but not as a smudging material. That's me. So experiment with different things. Open up the windows and the doors and let it drift out into the hallways and outside, into the neighborhood and around your space on the outside. Sometimes our spaces are shy and they're a little surprised that we're actually paying attention to them by asking them how they feel and what they would like and what's going on with them. So be very delicate and gentle with them, and you'll be amazed and really hugely rewarded for the time you spend actually connecting with those spaces and finding out what it is that they need. And one of the wonderful things that I like about space clearing is it does help us remember that we have chosen our bodies as humans to grow our souls in a human body. The spaces around us have chosen those bodies for their soul growth. And this clearing brings us all together. It rejuvenates and reinvigorates us. And it can help. It can help by clearing out the energies. It can help us feel better, mind, body, and spirit. It can help our spaces feel better, mind, body, and spirit. And that's what it's all about, right? So I want to thank you for joining me today. I'm sorry I can't see your comments here. I try to go back in each week and look at them and review them, and I'm kind of stumped figuring out how to comment on it without it disappearing. So I appreciate your putting up with my technical difficulties and joining me each week to talk about a new subject. You are always welcome to email me at my website, robynfritz.com. That's ROBYNFRITZ.com. And check out what's going on there at my website and my blog. You can connect with me here on Facebook at The Practical Intuitive. And please join me at my radio show. I don't know what the question is. I enjoy being with all of you. My radio show is at omtimes.com. It's a podcast, I guess. But it's called The Practical Intuitive, Mind, Body, Spirit for the Real World. It airs Monday afternoons at 2 Pacific time, 5 Eastern. Today I'm going to talk about space clearing, share some really cool stories with you. You are welcome to call in and ask questions, or you can also call in and get a quick reading there. I was going to offer quick readings here today, but I can't see your comments, so I'll try to fix that for next week. But if you have a question or comment, I'm always open to those on my radio show. If you're shy, you can always email me them at my website or here on Facebook. And if you'd like to work with me. I offer personal and business intuition, mediumship, animal communication, space clearing, past life and between life regression, which is a truly amazing way to see how powerful your soul really is. And soul retrieval and spiritual awakening, a process I call soul progression clearing, which is kind of like space clearing for our bodies, and is actually included in my work with other people when I do a space clearing. And of course, energy healing is included in that. So again, I want to thank you for joining me today. If you enjoy these broadcasts, please like the Humanity Healing page, the Om Times pages, and my page, The Practical Intuitive, Robin M. Fritz. And I will see you next week, and hopefully I will have this issue cleared up here with my broadcast. But to close out today, let's get us regrounded in our bodies, disconnected from this broadcast, and put healing energy right into our bodies by crossing our hands on our heart and just breathing in and imagining. Right, Margaret, thank you. Yes, I was just talking about sage in general. I like to eat sage. I don't like to burn sage for clearing it. That's just me. I like the taste of sage in my food. A lot of people love sage for clearing, and if it works for you, go ahead and do it. You can also buy bundled sticks. That includes, I have one that I particularly like that does have sage in it, but it also has rose and a bunch of other things wrapped in it, and it smells awesome when you burn it. So cross your hands on your heart, breathe in healthy, positive energy, clearing you, supporting you, getting you grounded and balanced for the rest of your day. And as you blow into the palms of your hands, imagine that as healing energy. Cross it back on your heart and just feel how grounded and balanced you are. Again, thank you for joining me. Yes, Alexandrina, I use lavender too. I love lavender. I have a lavender spray and a rose spray. And as you can see along my top shelf up here, I have fresh lavender I get every summer and dry it and literally put it in mason jars. And I have lavender all over the house, which acts as constant clearing device. And of course, there's always sea salt. Even if you don't want to use an incense because you have sensitivities, for example, or you don't have any incense, sea salt is great. And I'm sorry I forgot to mention it, but I just have it routinely around here. Sea salt, which you can use any kind of salt, but I love coarse ground Himalayan sea salt, and I put lavender in it, and then I sit Fallon in it for, well, a day or so until he tells me it's cooked, so to speak. And that lavender mixture I call Fallon lavender salt, I put around the house and I use on client calls because it carries some of the energy of Fallon with it, so it leaves that energy behind after a clearing wherever I've been working. But any sea salt will work. Toss it in the corners and celebrate your space and yourself for doing the clearing. That's it for this week. Thank you for joining me. Please email me at my website if you like my services, robinfritz.com. Like these pages if you will, and let me know how I can help you or what subjects you'd like to cover in future broadcasts. Take care and thanks for joining.